Have you ever stopped to think about why the serpent plays such an intriguing role in the Garden of Eden? This mysterious figure, which tempts Eve to eat the forbidden fruit, carries deep and complex meanings. What does the serpent really symbolize? Is it more than just a symbol of malice? Perhaps an agent of transformation and knowledge? Today, let's go beyond traditional interpretations to explore these hidden and fascinating layers of meaning. How does the serpent's fall reflect our eternal struggle between material desires and spiritual aspirations? Prepare to challenge your beliefs, dive into new knowledge, and see the Eden story with fresh eyes. Let's unravel ancient mysteries and discover surprising revelations that can change your understanding of good and evil. We'll explore from temptation to transformation, delving into messianic symbolism and human duality. So, join us on this journey of discovery and reflection. In the heart of the Garden of Eden, we find the serpent, who incites Eve to eat the forbidden fruit. Traditionally, it is seen as a manifestation of Satan, the cunning adversary whose purpose is to deceive and lead humanity away from the Creator. But are there more layers to be explored? In Judeo-Christian tradition, the serpent is often viewed as an incarnation of evil, a force that corrupts divine creation. This view is strongly supported by biblical and theological texts, where Satan is frequently associated with the figure of the serpent in the Garden of Eden. In this context, the serpent is not just a cunning animal, but a symbol of evil itself, whose goal is to corrupt humanity and distance it from its spiritual and divine purpose. However, in many ancient cultures, the serpent holds ambiguous symbolism, representing both danger and wisdom. This dualism is fundamental to understanding its complexity. In various mythologies, the serpent appears as a guardian of knowledge or a destroyer of worlds, transcending the idea of being merely malevolent. For example, in Greek mythology, the serpent is associated with the god of medicine, Asclepius, whose symbol is a serpent entwined around a staff, still used as a symbol of modern medicine. This duality suggests that the Edenic serpent can be seen as a force of nature that must be respected and understood. In Eden, the serpent may reflect the daily temptations we face. It symbolizes the challenges that divert us from the spiritual path, testing our willpower and our ability to resist temptations. When Eve succumbs to temptation, she not only disobeys a divine command, but begins a journey of self-discovery and evolution. This act of disobedience is often interpreted as the beginning of human consciousness, where the knowledge of good and evil becomes an essential part of the human experience. This suggests that temptation is an integral part of the human experience, a catalyst for our growth and learning. The serpent is not merely an enemy but a stern teacher, confronting us with our weaknesses and limitations. Its actions force us into introspection, questioning our choices and motivations. This perspective enriches the biblical narrative, where the serpent is both an adversary and a stimulus for spiritual development. Through temptation, we are challenged to grow and learn from our mistakes, becoming stronger and wiser. How often do we face the choice between the easy path and the right one? How do these trials shape our character and spirituality? Now, let's explore how the serpent can also be an agent of transformation and knowledge. Let us move forward and consider the serpent, not just as an agent of temptation, but as a catalyst for transformation and knowledge. Some scholars suggest that by inducing Eve to eat the forbidden fruit, the serpent triggers a vital process of self-knowledge and spiritual evolution. The fall, then, is not merely a departure from the Creator, but a crucial step in the development of human consciousness. To understand this better, we need to look through the lenses of various cultural traditions. In many ancient civilizations, serpents symbolize wisdom, renewal, and healing. In Greek mythology, for example, the serpent is associated with Asclepius, the god of medicine, whose symbol is still used in healing practices today. In Hindu tradition, the serpent is a symbol of Kundalini, a latent spiritual energy that, when awakened, leads to enlightenment. This energy, depicted as a serpent coiled at the base of the spine, is awakened through spiritual practices and ascends through the chakras, bringing knowledge and illumination. This duality of the serpent, as bearer of both danger and wisdom, suggests a richer interpretation of its presence in Eden. By inducing Eve to eat the fruit, the serpent not only deceives her, but also propels her towards a state of greater consciousness and self-awareness. Before this, Adam and Eve lived in innocence, without knowledge of good and evil. From the moment they consume the fruit, they enter a new phase of existence, marked by knowledge and moral responsibility. This event is often seen as the beginning of humanity's journey towards maturity and personal accountability. Can we truly achieve wisdom without confronting our own desires and imperfections? The story of the serpent teaches us that the quest for knowledge is deeply intertwined with the experience of temptation and overcoming internal challenges. It is through these challenges and temptations that we are able to grow and evolve, gaining a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. This narrative shows that the fall of Adam and Eve can be viewed not as a tragedy, but as a necessary step in the evolution of human consciousness. In this context, the serpent acts as a guide that challenges us to question our beliefs and expand our understanding. Many mystics and philosophers throughout history have suggested that true knowledge can only be achieved through direct experience and overcoming personal challenges. For instance, in existentialist philosophy, the idea that suffering and struggle are essential for personal growth and fulfillment is a central theme. In various esoteric traditions, the serpent is also a symbol of continuous transformation. Just as the serpent sheds its skin, we too are called to renew ourselves, leaving behind old habits and harmful thoughts to embrace a new way of being. This process of renewal is essential for our spiritual growth and helps us achieve a state of balance and harmony. In alchemy, for example, the serpent is a symbol of transformation and transmutation, representing the process of purification and spiritual evolution. But how does this interpretation connect with the symbolism of the Messiah? Let us explore this fascinating symbolic connection. In many religious traditions, the Messiah is seen as a redeemer, a figure who leads humanity towards a higher state of spiritual awareness and redemption. The serpent, as an agent of transformation, plays a similar role by challenging humanity to confront and overcome its shortcomings, thus paving the way for spiritual growth and enlightenment. This connection suggests that the serpent's role in the Garden of Eden can be viewed as part of a larger divine plan, where the challenges and temptations we face are necessary for our ultimate redemption and spiritual evolution. By exploring the deeper layers of the serpent's symbolism, we can gain a more nuanced understanding of its role in the Garden of Eden and its significance in our own spiritual journeys. Through this exploration, we are invited to see the serpent not merely as a symbol of evil, but as a complex and multifaceted figure that embodies both the challenges and the opportunities for growth that we encounter on our path to enlightenment. As we delve deeper into our exploration, we find an intriguing revelation in the Hebrew text. The word for serpent, Nahash, and the word for Messiah, Mashiach, share the same numerical value of 358. This equivalence suggests a profound symbolic connection between the serpent and the Messiah. Traditionally, the serpent in the Garden of Eden is seen as a symbol of temptation and fall. On the other hand, the Messiah is the Redeemer, the one who will bring salvation and elevate humanity to a higher state of consciousness. This duality leads us to reflect on the relationship between evil and redemption, between temptation and salvation. In Jewish tradition, the Messiah is viewed as a spiritual and temporal leader who will bring peace and justice to the world, restoring divine order. To understand this connection, we explore the concept of gematria, a method of biblical interpretation that assigns numerical values to Hebrew letters and seeks connections between words that share the same numerical value. Gematria is an ancient practice that aims to reveal hidden meanings in sacred texts through the analysis of the numerical values of words. This technique has been used by mystics and scholars over the centuries to deepen the understanding of biblical texts and find connections between seemingly disparate concepts. One possible interpretation is that the serpent, as a symbol of temptation and fall, represents the challenges we need to overcome to achieve redemption. In this sense, temptation is not just something to be avoided, but an essential component of the spiritual journey. Through temptation, we are challenged to grow, learn, and transform. This process of confronting and overcoming internal challenges is seen as a path to purification and spiritual elevation. Another interpretation is that the serpent and the Messiah represent two sides of the same coin, the duality of the human experience. The serpent symbolizes our material and instinctual desires, while the Messiah represents our spiritual aspirations and the quest for a higher state of consciousness. Redemption, then, is not merely overcoming evil, but integrating and transforming all aspects of our existence. This holistic view suggests that true spiritual transformation involves the acceptance and integration of all parts of ourselves, including those we consider dark or undesirable. Various Kabbalistic traditions teach that matter and spirit are not opposing entities but complementary aspects of divine creation. True spiritual transformation involves integrating all aspects of our lives, including those that seem low or unworthy. Through this integration, we can find holiness and redemption in our daily lives. In Kabbalah, for example, the idea that all parts of creation are interconnected and that holiness can be found in all things is a fundamental principle. The duality between the serpent and the Messiah shows us that the challenges we face are necessary for our spiritual growth. Now, let's understand how this duality manifests in our daily journey. In our everyday lives, we often encounter situations that test our values and beliefs. These challenges, much like the serpent in Eden, can lead us to greater self-awareness and understanding. By confronting our desires and imperfections, we embark on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth. This process requires us to navigate the tension between our material instincts and our higher aspirations, much like the duality represented by the serpent and the Messiah. In this light, every temptation and challenge becomes an opportunity for growth. The serpent's role as a tempter is not solely negative. It is also a catalyst that pushes us to evolve and mature. Similarly, the Messiah's role as a redeemer encompasses the idea of guiding us through these trials towards a state of higher consciousness and spiritual fulfillment. By embracing this duality, we can approach our spiritual journey with a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all aspects of our existence. We learn to see challenges not as obstacles, but as essential steps on our path to redemption and enlightenment. This perspective allows us to integrate our material and spiritual selves, achieving a holistic and balanced approach to life. In conclusion, the symbolic connection between the serpent and the Messiah invites us to reflect on the intricate relationship between temptation, transformation, and redemption. It encourages us to embrace the challenges we face as opportunities for growth and to seek a deeper integration of all aspects of our being. Through this journey, we can attain a greater understanding of ourselves and our place in the divine order. In the Garden of Eden, before consuming the forbidden fruit, Adam and Eve lived in perfect harmony and purity, connected to the divine and in tune with their surroundings. This state can be seen as a high level of consciousness, where humans were closer to their spiritual nature and less influenced by material desires and primal instincts. They existed in a state of innocence and total connection with the divine, without the knowledge of good and evil. This state of harmony and purity is often idealized as a lost paradise, a time when humanity lived in unity with nature and the Creator. The act of consuming the fruit and the subsequent loss of innocence can be seen as a metaphor for the awakening of self-awareness and morality. Before eating the fruit, Adam and Eve were like children, unaware of life's complexities and moral choices. By eating the fruit, they gain knowledge and are confronted with the consequences of their actions. This event marks the transition of humanity from a state of innocence to a state of responsibility and consciousness, where free will and the ability to choose between good and evil become central aspects of the human experience. The transformation of the serpent, which loses its legs and begins to crawl, symbolizes this fall from a higher state. Initially, the serpent may have represented a creature of greater freedom and mobility. However, after the deception that led to Adam and Eve's disobedience, it becomes a symbol of materiality and degradation, condemned to crawl on the ground. This change reflects the constant internal battle of humans between their instinctive and material impulses and their intellectual and spiritual side. The image of the serpent crawling on the ground reminds us that after the fall, humanity became more rooted in the material world, and our instinctive desires began to dominate our lives more. This story also highlights the human capacity to overcome these challenges. Although we are more connected to the material, our higher consciousness, represented by intellectual and spiritual capacity, still resides within us. The struggle between these two aspects of our nature is a fundamental part of the human experience. Daily, we face decisions that reflect this duality, choosing between satisfying an immediate desire or following a path that leads to deeper spiritual growth. This struggle is crucial for our development as human beings. Learning to balance our material needs with our spiritual aspirations is a vital part of our journey. Gematria, a system that assigns numerical values to Hebrew letters, reveals hidden connections between words. A fascinating example is the word for serpent, Nahash, and the word for Messiah, Mashiach, which share the same numerical value of 358. This equivalence suggests a profound symbolic connection between the serpent and the Messiah. The serpent often represents our material and instinctive desires, while the Messiah symbolizes redemption and spiritual elevation. Spiritual transformation involves not just avoiding temptation, but integrating it in a way that helps us grow spiritually. This view, supported by Kabbalistic texts, shows us that all aspects of our lives, including those that seem low or unworthy, have the potential to be elevated. Thus, true spiritual transformation involves the integration and elevation of all aspects of human existence, recognizing the divine potential in every detail of our daily lives. What matters is our relationship with our desires and how we manage them. The serpent, a symbol of wisdom and transformation, reminds us that challenges and temptations can be catalysts for our growth. The duality between the serpent and the Messiah urges us to see the world in a new way. Instead of seeing matter and spirit as opposites, we can perceive them as complementary aspects of our existence. The challenge lies in finding balance and harmony between them, elevating the material to serve a spiritual purpose. This quest is a journey that involves both the individual and the collective. It is a call to elevate ourselves and our community to a higher level of consciousness and spiritual connection. By understanding this interdependence, we realize that our actions in the material world have repercussions in the spiritual realm and vice versa. The serpent in the Garden of Eden, shrouded in mysteries and multifaceted interpretations, reminds us that the struggle between material desires and spiritual growth is a constant in our journey. Its rich and complex symbolism serves as a powerful reminder of the dualities we face and the lessons we can learn along the way. To explore more about spirituality, check out our video on the hidden case of the Pope who made a pact with the devil. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue this journey of self-discovery and spiritual learning. Your commitment to knowledge is the first step to transforming your reality.